right, 24 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to learn about our eyes from our friends at Ocala Eye. Who better to go to, right, than somebody who works with eyes all the time? Nikki Nix is in the studio. She is the Patient Services Coordinator for Ocala Eye. And Chris Mond is in the studio. He's the Account Manager for Ocala Eye. And, there are many locations, or at least several locations of Ocala Eye. So as we're talking today, take notes. And if you have a question, by the way, you're invited to call. The number is 622-9622. And whether it's about something as routine, I guess, as new eyeglasses or something as serious as eye surgery. I know we've learned a little bit about the extremes of what you do, Nikki, so thank you. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Thank you for coming in.
No problem.
And nice to meet you, Chris.
Nice to meet you.
Have we met?
Not yet, no sir.
Well, nice to meet you. So what do you do? You're the account manager? What does that mean?
Yes, sir. Well, I do a variety of things. Really I kind of focus on the outside of the facilities, really going into other doctors' offices, trying to, get them familiar with our process, how we do things.
And is there a connection there? For example, if I went to the eye doctor, because Nikki was telling us in one of the past visits that there was a way you can look in the eye and say, "Oh my gosh, you've got diabetes. You've got something else." It's not about vision. It's about overall health. Is that where you connect with the other doctors' offices?
Yeah, a lot of that. With primary care, most people that have an issue will go to their primary care doctor first, and then from there, if they see a problem or have a problem, then they'll refer them over to us.
Right. Does it work in reverse? Do people sometimes get a checkup with their regular doctor and they say, maybe go see an eye doctor? A lot of people with this condition often have eye issues as well.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah. I mean, that's part of where having Chris out and about helps us because, sometimes patients aren't aware how that connection works and how, important it is for them to keep up with their eye health. So just in general, getting annual screenings to screen things that could connect to the systemic issues that they're already having. A lot of times, like he said, they just say, "Oh, I woke up with blurry vision." They don't instinctually sometimes think to just go to their eye doctor. Their primary care doctor is kind of where they start at sometimes. So,
I'm glad you brought that up. You just reminded me, last time, like right after you left, there was somebody calling to talk to you guys, but you had already been done, and I said I would ask it this morning. So they were asking about lightning bolts. Okay, you seem to know what that is.
Well, I mean, people can perceive
They rub their eyes and they see lightning bolts. That's what she told me.
Well, that is probably just the way that her retina is perceiving that. So the way that structure in your eye is composed, that actually causes light flashes. So some people get those in a variety of ways. They, see lightning bolts or just a wavy like flash of light, and it's kind of just not necessarily something that is detrimental or harmful to their eyes.
So it's not necessarily a warning sign of something.
It can be.
Oh, it can be
if it's something that, other symptoms kind of go in conjunction with. But obviously, if it's something new for someone, they would want to contact their eye doctor and come in and have it looked at, because it can be a sign that something else could be going on.
If you're listening, you are certainly welcome to call in, because I don't know that I'm going to ask all of your correct questions, and that's for everybody. The number is 622-9622 right now. But of course, you can call Ocala Eye at any time. And your number is what,
622-5183.
5183, okay. But on her behalf, if you go to see your eye doctor for like a routine checkup, would you recommend you mention that? Like, hey, when I rub my eyes,
definitely. I mean, anything that you've noticed out of the ordinary, you would want, if nothing else, if there's no findings in the eye, at least to have the eye doctor explain or a technician explain why you're having those symptoms.
It's amazing that you can diagnose. You know what I'm amazed at? That you can diagnose children. Because I don't know how accurately they tell you whether they can see clearly through that little testing device or not.
They can't always, and so there's other kind of tricks of the trade to be able to find out whether they're seeing what they're actually seeing.
We do have a phone call. Let's take that call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Good morning. I've got a question for the doctor. I've been to a couple of different eye doctors, and I can't seem to get a pair of glasses, that works well for me. Because when they do the lens thing, they say, is this sharper or is that sharper? Is this sharper or that sharper? They do it so fast, the eye doesn't get a chance to adjust. and I just can't get the proper pair of glasses. Can she recommend somebody that will take a little more time and help me?
Well, I mean, definitely whatever eye provider you're choosing to go to, you need to, if you feel like they're going too fast, ask them to kind of slow down and take their time. But they can also do what they call trial frame, where when you've gone through that whole which is better, one or two, they can actually kind of trial that prescription in a frame for you and put it on you to see if you like the way that you see through it.
Can you recommend somebody?
Well, we do it at Ocala Eye, so you're welcome to call in and make an appointment.
Where are you located?
We have several different locations. We have an office off of 17th Street behind Bidding's Pharmacy. We have an office off of 32nd Avenue right over behind the mall. We have an office out 200 by On Top of the World, and we have a Village's office on 466 off Laurel Manor Drive.
Okay. I appreciate the information. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a nice day.
Well, that's like the perfect call.
You too. Bye.
I mean, that was a great marketing call. I promise we don't set them up. I know you guys thought that the first time you did this, but we don't. The number is 622-9622 if you want to call in. Yeah, I was going to ask Chris, do you handle the insurance questions? Like if somebody had insurance questions about eye care?
To be honest with you, I'm not the best with insurance because a lot of the insurances do change quite often. So, our billing department would probably be the best.
That's who handles that? Okay.
Right.
Let me go to the next caller. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Yes. If a baby's born cross-eyed, how young can they do that surgery, or do they have to wait till the child grows up a little bit?
Well, there's a multitude of things that factor into that. A lot of times, it sometimes can correct itself. It doesn't always need surgery. Sometimes patching can help with those sort of things, and it kind of depends on where the muscle deficiency is. There's 6 different main muscles that move each eye, so it kind of depends on where they're having the issue. If the eye's turning in, turning out, going up, going down, so you definitely would want to get hooked up with a pediatric neuro-ophthalmologist to make sure that you were in right hands to have the care that the child needed.
Normally speaking, how long would it take an eye to recorrect itself if it would?
Well, it just kind of depends. I know you've kind of, at some point in time, probably heard the term lazy eye, and while that can cause the eye to kind of turn in a little bit, sometimes that's just because the eye never really learned to see well. So patching can help them regain some vision, and just regaining some vision causes, them to have a little bit more control of the way that the eye moves. If it's a true muscle problem, maybe in more than one muscle, that's sometimes that is definitely going to need surgery. So it really just depends. You'd have to have, someone properly diagnose them.
All right, thank you for the call. The phone lines are open again, and we're up against a little break. So let's take that little break, and we will be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Partly sunny on this Tuesday, warm and humid with a shower or thunderstorm in spots, mainly during the afternoon hours. High 86 at the coast to 91 inland. Patchy clouds Tuesday night, low 69 inland, 77 along the coast. Wednesday, times of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm in spots, mainly near the coast. The high 85 to 89. Thursday, partly sunny, high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Hi, my name is Erica Olstein. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine. So, you used to be wired, now you're just tired. You used to be thin, but now you're the heaviest you've ever been. You don't necessarily always have to take a med if your thyroid is playing dead. If you have a thyroid disorder, an acupuncture visit may be in order. Come visit me, your primary care physician, Erica Olstein, at A Better You Healthcare. Call me at 352-615-5566.
All right. Gosh, I don't hear myself. What's going on here? Are we on? How come I don't hear myself? something with my headset. All right. Nikki Nix is here. There we go. Nikki Nix is here with Chris Bond, and we're talking about your eye health. There was a commercial, and I haven't heard it in a while, and it was claiming that with exercises you could improve your vision. Do you guys remember that commercial by chance? I tried to Google it real quickly. Sorry. I didn't push any of my buttons. Now you're on the air, Nikki. But have you ever heard that if your eyes are if your vision needs correcting, you can exercise them somehow?
Well, yes, to an extent. I mean, your natural lens that's inside your eye sits inside of a bag, and that bag actually has little muscles that hang on to it. And so those muscles are what enable you to see distance and up close when you're younger.
That's what I was going to ask if age has something to do with it.
It does, so that's why around that whole 40 or so, people start noticing their arms aren't long enough to be able to read things, and it's because that muscle stops working and it becomes stiff. So, some of that goes back to, people patching as well to kind of, help the eye learn to see well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I remember that. I haven't heard it in a while, and I remember thinking that seems too simple to just exercise. It was a kit they sold you, and I guess it gave you instructions on how to exercise your eyes. But I did think, I wonder if it's a younger eye that might benefit from it more than an older eye, because every older person has glasses.
Yes, and that's just because come that 40 age, when that those muscles become stiff and they no longer work, it's just kind of part of the fact of having more birthdays. It's just part of the aging process.
I've had a lot of birthdays. do you know what I notice? Here's what I do a lot of close-up work, like art and stuff. And if I'm looking at that art for a couple of hours straight, and then I'm done, right? It takes a while for my distance vision to come back. It's not totally bad. I mean, it's just a little bit difficult to see. So
that has to do with part of that changing distances when you see is called accommodation, and so as you age, you start to lose the range that you have in accommodation. So, like we've talked about before, your $7 glasses may not cut it for much longer.
I know, and then and I was also thinking about an answer you gave us last week regarding like vitamins, because you go through the vitamin thing and it has all these. This is good eyesight, but it sounds like that's.
Well, I think more of what they should be marketed for is eye health, because they have found that they can contribute to. Leafy green vegetables and things like that factor into, certain conditions that your eye can have. So they more so factor into eye health than actual vision. Really, the only thing that would factor into helping you see better is just making sure the eye's lubricated like it should be.
Do women have better color vision than men? Have you ever heard that before?
Usually, yes. Color deficiency is more prominent in men than it is in women.
But how do we know? I mean, how do I know that the blue on your coat, is that a coat? Sure.
It's a shirt.
How do I know that that's not the same blue you see? How do you know?
Well, I mean, there's ways to test
Really?
color deficiency. You actually line the colors up in a row. There's a book where you can actually see the numbers. There's two different tones of color, so you should be able to pick out the image. And if not, you can kind of see what colors you're deficient in.
And can that be corrected? If color vision is not okay?
Not normally. I mean, I have seen the videos. I've never actually put on a pair, so I don't know. But I've seen the videos like online YouTube where they're seeing color basically for the first time when they put those glasses on for family members and things. I don't know what they actually do for them. I don't know anybody personally who's had a pair. So
wow, that's interesting.
It just seems that cataract surgery though will rejuvenate some of those things with the eyes,
because partially what happens is when you get a cataract and that lens becomes cloudy, it causes you to see colors differently. So because it's a gradual change over a certain number of years, you don't know that you're not seeing colors like you should be. Mm-hmm. So when you have cataract surgery, it actually changes the clarity of what you're seeing, because you don't have that cataract filtering in the light that's coming into your eye, which changes the color.
Did we ever tell you the story about the lady who had her house painted? Did we tell you that?
I don't know.
She had her house painted every year by the same guy, and every year she'd pick out the color, and then she went and had cataract surgery or whatever, and she came home, and she said, "Oh my gosh, why did he repaint the house? This is not the color I wanted." He hadn't. It was that she was now seeing her house different, as it actually looked.
We have had many patients say that afterwards. Just silly things like, oh, I didn't realize I had quite as many wrinkles as I have because, I wasn't seeing things clearly,
Well, see,
or they've
this is why
repainted the inside of the house.
This is my theory as to why we actually have poorer vision as we get older. So that our partner looks better,
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah, I think that's the whole idea. That's what God said. You know
Yes.
what? Let's kind of make it fade a little bit.
Yes. So when you're looking, you're going, yes, I'm still holding it together. That's right.
Or in the mirror.
Ocala Eye has so many different departments that you are very precise in everything that you treat. And now we're meeting Chris today, and that is what exactly do you do with Ocala Eye?
I'm working, really taking, instead of working internally, I'm really responsible for, kind of outbound, getting out there. We'll be doing a lot of events, that sort of thing. Just kind of getting out in the community, letting everybody know, whether it's doctors or other, patients, people, letting them know what we can do. We're really trying to take the culture that we're building inside and really kind of extending it out in the community.
You guys should really do the ad for this show together.
I think so.
Just, I mean, because we can do it, but it'd be nice if you came in there with your voices and talked about what you do. It's only 30 seconds, Nikki. You want to do it?
Goodness. I don't know.
No?
Well, community is very important, and you have so many different locations over our area
Right.
that it really makes everything very close to home for a lot of people.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's part of it as well. Just kind of getting out there and letting people know how many locations we have, because it's not necessarily commonly known. So really, just kind of getting out there and creating the awareness of what we can do, many departments that we have, the culture that we're trying to build, and that's pretty much.
So if I wanted to get the whole thing started with myself, get the $7 glasses, and put them in a drawer. What's the first thing I do?
You just call up and make an appointment. So we have a call center that takes care of most all of our scheduling, or at least directing the patients in the right place, getting them with the correct physician that they should be, according to maybe age or, what they've got going on, who they might need to see for any doctors that subspecialize in things. And from there, you come in for your appointment. For a complete eye exam, you're going to be there for about an hour and a half. It's a thorough exam. And then at that point in time, you can peek at glasses if you want to right then. Some people choose not to because they're dilated. They don't feel like they see them very well.
Oh,
so,
really?
You're going to leave with a prescription that day for glasses. So, you can.
And you get the glasses there too, right?
Yes, you can.
And are you wearing progressives?
No, mine are
No.
just for distance.
Because you're so young, you probably don't need them, right?
Well,
the older we get, we have to get
yeah,
them.
it's
right?
getting there. I'm able to hang out for just a little bit longer. I like the magnification, but I'm holding out a little longer.
Chris, are you wearing contacts?
No, I'm not.
No, so you're fine. You don't need any glasses.
So far, so good.
Do you ride a motorcycle?
I do not.
No? Okay.
Well, what do you tell the students that play sports to try to give themselves eye protection, especially football players, when you're constantly being hit? Doesn't that jar your eyes sometimes?
Oh, it definitely can, but I think, they most of those players are safe if they've got, the face mask. A lot of them you see have the little clear shield on. For, kids who have play sports, baseball and things like that, they make sports goggles basically that, really do kind of keep their whole socket in general kind of a little bit more protected in case. A lot of kids, choose to wear their regular glasses so that they can see, which is fine, but it at least provides them with some sort of protection if they are to get hit with it.
Can you put prescription lenses in the goggles?
Yes,
for
yes,
them?
they can do it in scuba goggles. They can do it in all sorts of things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to come see you guys. I'll probably do the one right here by the mall.
yeah, we're right across the
I
street.
can walk there.
You could.
And that way, when my eyes are dilated, I don't have to drive.
That's right.
Right?
You don't have to.
Is it everything really bright? Is that what happens?
It is really bright because your pupils are bigger. So when you're dilated, it's letting all
Is that
that.
dangerous to have them that big and walking out in the sun?
Not necessarily. I mean, you're going to shy away from it. Nobody's really going to look at the sun just because it's kind of painful. Because it is so bright. So sunglasses will help with that. But everything up close will be really blurry for until the dilation wears off.
If I go to Stevie B's after I get my eyes dilated and I talk to Mina, have you ever met the little Indian lady named
I
Mina?
have not.
Oh my gosh, she's so
so
fun.
nice.
But she would look at me and she said, "Laddie, your eyes are so big." doctor says, you look crazy. You look like a crazy man.
Do you have anything protective for videographers or still photographers for the cameras when you look through the lens? Sometimes you're doing bright shots outside and you've got to capture where the sun is, and that, might not be too good for your eyes.
I don't actually know. We actually have one of our doctors who does photography. Actually, a couple of them. So I've never seen anything, but I that doesn't mean that they don't make it. It's not something that I think that we make, but I don't know that there isn't something out there that isn't available for those people who that's a need for them.
We have a friend who has bleeding behind the retina?
eye, yes.
Behind the eye. Is that common? Is that fixable?
It is common with a couple of different things. Actually, diabetes can cause that. Macular degeneration can cause that as well. It is not fixable. Once it bleeds, actually, wherever that bleeding has occurred, it's damaged that part of the retina. But what we want to do is to stop the bleeding so that it doesn't continue to damage anymore. So that's, part of just, actually having Chris out and about right now. We've been kind of trying to get together kind of a diabetic eye program, just basically letting the PCPs or the primary care doctors in the community aware that, they have measures that they have to meet for insurance reasons for diabetic patients of theirs, and trying to get them out and about to let patients, to get their patients in for their annual eye exams for diabetes so that we can, try to help them keep their vision.
All right. So maybe next time, you're coming in next week?
I don't know what our schedule is.
Maybe maybe before you see me, I will have been a patient over there. All right. Well, I'll at least get the process started by calling you. So I call 622-5183.
That's correct.
Right? And I have a new phone, so I don't even have to punch it. I just tell it. I just say, call Ocala Eye, and it'll do it. And you have several different locations, and thank you, caller, because you kind of helped me out with that, giving out all the locations. And share the video, the podcast that we do of this, because it'll help somebody else find out about Ocala Eye.
When you set up your first exam appointment and you come in, should the patient bring in the listing of all of the medications?
Yes, and the girls are normally going to tell you that on the phone, that if you take any medications, either bring in a list, or a lot of people don't have a list, just throw all your pill bottles in a bag and bring those in so that we can properly know exactly what you're taking, because some of those medications are things that we need to be aware of for your eye care. And if you wear glasses, please wear those in so that we can kind of see where you're starting from, even if they're not real ones. And they'll have you bring in your ID and your insurance card so we can scan those into the system as well.
Nikki, Nix, thank you.
You're welcome.
For coming in here. Chris Bond, thank you for coming in here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And if you need any information about Ocala Eye, 622-5183 is the phone number. Call us if you need that repeated. The website is ocalaeye.com.
That's correct.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.